This is the face of somebody who just lost $4,300. Let's talk about it. Oh, you want to talk about it? Look, okay. So let's get into the breakdown. I'm not gonna go over one particular trade today. I'm just going to go over what Price did, how I executed. I am going to go over the first two trades that started this, I guess you could say. I went on tilt today, hitting max daily losses on both accounts. Yeah, that's you want to talk about it? Because I want my money back. And you might want your money back too. So let's go over it and let's actually review the trades so that we can take something away from this, right? Because there is something good to take away from this. Essentially, I kind of just let's get into it. So starting on the daily time frame, the first thing I mark is our break of structure, which we have here. And so since we had a break of structure on the daily time frame, we can anticipate some sort of pullback at least at some point when the 4-hour turns bearish, right, to come back to a daily level, right? And we did get that, guys. So that was here. We had this high, low, and took that trade actually yesterday. That's when price broke right here. We had a break of structure from these lows. Here, I'll draw them. But yeah, so price broke these lows, created this higher low. Okay, you following me? Created a new lower low. Boom, and basically coming into the day, this is kind of where we were. This had not printed yet. All the price rate up to this point had been printing. So this bullish candle was essentially forming, right? That was the candle that I traded in. And so following this structure, right, we could see we had a break to the downside. Now we could be anticipating a pullback. Oops. Let's do this. Boom. And before price sells off, we want to see some sort of pullback to here, right? So when does the 4-hour want to pull back? Right? That is what I was asking myself. Because like I said, this candle was forming, so I think we were pushing up, right? We were pushing up, but like I said, we had a break of structure. So I was anticipating the pullback anyway, but we'll get to where the issue was. So anyway, I'm anticipating the pullback. This candle hadn't finished forming, and so I just looked at it like, actually, I think this candle even, let me see, that says 5 and this says 9. So I think I took my trade within this candle, right? Okay. So not this bullish candle here, but this candle here. Yeah. Because basically my trade was within this wick, and so bad because since that is all we had formed, I had basically drew up this low too, because this was our 4-hour low essentially at the time, because this candle was still forming, right? So I'm gonna delete this line right here so we don't get confused, and I'm gonna draw this in the same color as the rest of the 4-hour structure so we don't get confused. I'm gonna delete this too, because like I said, that was earlier. this week. And this is basically what we are looking at. Right, this was the high that we didn't want to break. As far as if you're looking to sell this market, right? Anyway, oh my god, guys, I can't even tell you how, like, this should have been a winning day for me. But so, like I said, price came and broke this low of this candle right here. So, you know, the market's not ready to pull back, right? It's not ready to pull back, so we do not take our buys yet. Where is this move at? Right, so coming into the day, also we had this trend right here. This was at what time? 8:15. You could see, so this is the 8:30 candle. This is where I got wiped out initially. Why? Because we also just had, like I said, what kind of threw me off was because I was looking at the 4-hour, like, because this candle hadn't formed. We were in this candle. It had not closed. I didn't want to consider this a break of structure. And so I was looking at this as the break of structure, right? So, oh no, I guess. Let's go to the 15-minute. I'm really trying to get to the bottom of, like, why I took this loss with you guys. So I'm sorry if this is taking a while or if I'm just sounding boring, because it's really like, this is the part nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to review their losses. It's easy to go over the wins and see, like, yeah, I won because of this, but when you take a loss, it's usually, especially once you get the understanding of market dynamics, then you kind of you know, you think, you just don't want to think you can't lose. Let's say that. I got humbled today, guys. Shit, I'm not afraid to say that, and that's okay. You know, I don't want to make this a psychology video, but, like, this is when knowing yourself and that emotional intelligence is so important, because it's easy to take the wins. It's hard to take the losses, and you have to be able to cope with them in healthy ways. And one of the ways I think is just a great healthy way that I cope with them is by reviewing my trades, regardless win or lose, because at the end of the day, in hindsight, you know, I might see something that I was overlooking in the moment, you know. So yeah, anyway, so coming into the day, like I said, we had broke this candle right before 8:30, like 8:29. We had broke that low, and yeah, so I should have been anticipating a 15-minute pullback, which would have facilitated a 4-hour pullback, which should have made me take a buy to target this supply that we have on the 4-hour, right? But not what I did. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I think I was expecting this low to get broken, so I was like, okay, we have a new 15-minute low, and the 4-hour is still bearish, and none of this had printed yet, really, right? It was just down here, so I'm thinking, like, the market still wants to trade bearish, you know what I mean? I'm thinking we're going to break this and retest, and essentially we did get that trade, right? But I was afraid to hop in it. I was scared to hop in it, and I should have been. Anybody should have been. Why? Because this was a breakout on the 15-minute. So had I entered my trade here when price retested for real, I would have been good. Set my stop loss below the last structure, which would have been like here, and I don't know, target a 1 to 2, because it's a breakout. We don't really know exactly where price could go. We should be sitting back and waiting to see if we could get some sign of a continuation, which we kind of did. And yeah, so anyway, I didn't take this trade though, so I kind of just got scared, right? And just didn't know what to do. I just like, because I wanted price to hit this supply, and this is all 1 minute time frame, so I'm gonna make it orange, and it just never did, right? But we got really close. Actually, I think that is a touch, right? Let's get that lined up exactly. Okay, so it did hit, and I was just like scared to take the trade or something. I'm not sure exactly why. Really, it's because, as a trader, you're supposed to manage your risk, right? And so I was iffy on just taking the breakout sell, and for good reason. I mean, if you would have took this sell and then held it to the low, it was like basically once it broke this low, that was like a 1 to 2. You know what I mean? That's what you could have targeted, right? You would have targeted the low because you're taking a sell. So your stop loss would have been here, and you would have been targeting here. And once price got there, you definitely should have put a trailing stop or like secured profits. But I didn't get in there. I was scared, like I said, and we got a retest, and it doesn't make sense now because since this was the low right here, I waited for the candle to close. It closed all the way down here, and then I take my sell. And looking at price like that, this is where our stop loss should have been, and I didn't want to do that because, yeah, obviously it's logically where it should go if you're entering there, but it was just like too big for me, like, and I didn't see too much downside to this trade, right, because it was a breakout. So let's remove this because that was not formed yet. So I mean, at best, we could have got almost a 1-to-1 on this, right? But if you really would have just held this until this candle broke this low, I mean, you wouldn't be able to anticipate how low it was going to go. Price could have literally just one tick broke the low and then pulled back again, right? Because that's how the market works. You don't know how long these sells are going to go. Once we break out, we are supposed to be anticipating a pullback. So what I should have did is, if I didn't take that trade, right, if I was too pussy to take that trade, excuse my language. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's just like, clearly I'm upset. But it was $4,300 loss today, guys. Shit. I'm gonna have to put some quarters in the square jar, okay? Like, I don't want to apologize because I'm trying to be as transparent as I can too. Like, it's okay to feel your feels, you know what I mean? Just so long as you don't allow your feelings to stop you from doing stuff like this, like reviewing the trades and actually noting, okay, where you could have done better and what you should have been paying attention to. It's just gonna improve your trading in the future. So yeah, like I said, we had a 15-minute breakout, so there was a pullback expectation, right? And already the 4-hour had broken out, so we were waiting on that to pull back. So it was like we got 2 time frames that need to pull back. That's confluence, you know what I'm saying? When 2 time frames could like intertwine like that, and at this time, that just kind of lets you know. So basically, right, so essentially this last sell was our high now, right? Because price came down, made a low, then boom, made a high, then boom, made a low. And so at this point, I was too emotional to realize it in the moment, but I should have been looking for this structure to break or be respected, and instead I didn't. I ended up getting in another sell. I got another pullback right to here. Boom, I'm thinking we're gonna take the low. I was just so stuck on sales today, and this trade was actually not a bad one. Goes into profit, doesn't break out like you know, like I guess you could say I'm used to seeing my trades do, even though I don't hold them that long. And I thought today like would be the day that I did, right? And then what ends up happening, as you could see, and I think this trade was up at one point like $1,200 or something. I don't even remember. No. Okay, yeah, it was up like $1,200, but I took, like I said, that first loss. So, and I took that trade on both of my accounts. So I think I took an initial loss of something like 3,300. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was like, I could check. I really should just check. Hold on, let me just check.